All right, here we go. Lyrica Anderson.
Hi.
Welcome to VladTV.
Thank you for having me.
It's actually Lyrica Anderson the second, right?
No.
Well, because your mom's name is Lyrica as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. But I'm not a junior. I don't know why she hates when people call me a junior or the second for some reason. She's always like, no, don't say the second, don't say a junior. So we just stick with Lyrica.
Okay.
Some of my friends say little Lyrica.
You originally had a twin.
Yes.
A sister or brother?
Identical girl, twin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she passed away when we were 3 years old. Actually, we were premature, and then we were in the incubator like for a while. So both of us actually almost didn't make it because we were really sick. We were born early. My mother, actually, you're the first person I've ever told this story to, the details. But my mom had fibroid tumors.
Oh.
So I guess it like pushed us out early because it was just hard to hold the babies and the fibroid tumors. And her fibroid tumors were like the size, one of them was the size of a cantaloupe. And she had like a bunch of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a part of everything. And so my twin and I were born premature and early, and my sister just was really sick, and she got pneumonia, and she had all the, tubes and stuff on her, and her body couldn't fight through all of, the medicines and everything, basically. So she passed away.
At 3 years old?
At 3 years old. And so my mom was pursuing her music career, which she still is, but she had to kind of step back for a second because she was taking care of me and my twin sister. And then with my twin sister passing, planning the funeral, and then my dad not being around at the time either. So that is what inspired me to name this album Adea. That's her name.
Twins sort of have a special connection, especially identical twins. Like I know identical twins, and things happen where if one of them is in the same city as the other, they'll sort of know it before they actually talk, and like certain, like if one is feeling bad, the other one will kind of feel bad, and they don't really know why until they have a conversation.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's some sort of connection that might not be there anymore because of your twin is gone?
No, I feel like there's a connection. I mean, I've had numerous people tell me she's your guardian angel or she's still with you. And sometimes I wonder, because, we can't see after, people pass, but I wonder sometimes is she like right there, like things you see in movies, we never really know until we go to the next life. But like if she's just, her spirit is just right there, but I definitely feel like her spirit is still with me. And one time, this is a little crazy, kind of scary, but one time my mom and my stepdad were in their living room watching TV, and I was in my room and I was asleep. And my mom and my stepdad heard someone saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," like really loud. And my stepdad and my mom, which even though now she tries to like switch the story, I think she's like kind of scared her a little bit, or maybe she's just like not trying to like believe that it really happened, but it happened, because when they told me the next day I was like, wow. And my stepdad said it looked like someone pushed my mom into the door, like she like went into the door and she busted my room thinking I'm calling her, and they said I was in a dead sleep. So I feel like for whatever reason that was my twin like reaching out, or maybe she was missing my mom. I don't know. People will say like, oh, they don't believe in that, or they do. Whatever the case, it happened. So with that being said, I feel like her spirit is always with me, and I owed her a tribute, a dedication, special gift, because in Swahili, Adea means a gift from God also.
Do you remember her at all from that age? I mean, 3 is sort of a
young age.
You kind of remember, you kind of don't, kind of age.
It's a little bit like a kind of thing. Like I've seen pictures and I'm just like, oh, okay. And it's weird. It's like now I start feeling like I remembered more. I guess when I really tapped in, you kind of don't face things when they happen and they're sad. You don't want to think about it. I never really asked about my dad either. Those are things I just was like, oh, I'm fine. I got my mom, I'm good, or whatever. But when you get a little older and stuff, you start being like, wait, this actually really did bother me my whole life, and I didn't realize it. And that's why on Love and Hip Hop, a lot of the viewers got to see me like breaking down and crying, talking about Adea and my dad, because I realized when I had to talk about it that it actually bothered me the whole time. So I do remember her, but it's vaguely, it's like through pictures and stuff.
And your dad left right after you guys were born.
My dad was there. He was in the hospital a few times. He would show up here and there. And then at her funeral, he called my mom and said he didn't have a ride to the funeral. Yeah. And so my mom said, if you can't make it to the funeral, then you're dead to me. And he didn't make it to her funeral. And I don't care if you had to take a taxi, you know, I don't know, whatever you had to do, get a ride from your friend. Like, how do you miss your child's funeral? And so it's just like really, really weird. And yeah, we haven't talked to him since.
Okay, so that was it in terms of communication.
That was it in terms of communication. So I don't know what he's doing, where he's at, if he's watching me on TV or what, but now I'm trying to find him.
Oh, you're trying to find him now?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that going?
It's a toughie.
Yeah.
He has a very generic name, so that makes it hard. His name's Johnny. And, you know, we're just still kind of figuring it out because my mom had a boyfriend after they broke up. It's a lot. But, you know, basically, his name's Johnny Anderson. And when you Google that, there's a billion of them.
Right.
So it hasn't been like an easy thing to do.
So you got into music and started writing for other artists initially.
Yes.
Who are some of the artists?
Well, I started off as a songwriter. I went with that first before being an artist because that was the door that opened for me first. And I loved it just as much. So I started writing and I got placements on everyone from Sharice was this girl I wrote for on Warner Brothers, and the record went #1. Then I went on to write for Demi Lovato, Jonas Brothers, Princess and the Frog movies, you know, Chris Brown's Party, Grass Ain't Greener, little bit off of royalty, and then from there it's just like started going on for everyone. Jennifer Hudson, Timbaland, etc.
You worked with Beyonce.
Oh, how could I forget that?
Right.
Duh,
A little known
I had a
female
blank,
singer.
I had a blank moment because I was trying to name all of them, but how would you forget the Queen? So, of course, yes, Queen Bee. I wrote on Jealous for Beyonce. I didn't get to meet her. I love me some Bee, though. She definitely has to do with a lot of inspiration. Just growing up and just being an artist and being a writer. And I did the record and we sent it out to her. And so she ended up cutting it, I think, in Miami.
So you were essentially writing for all the biggest names in music. I mean, I'm trying to think in terms of female. Did you ever write for male singers or is it just female singers?
Well, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Chris Brown for sure.
One of the biggest male singers in the
Yeah.
world. So you're essentially writing for musical royalty.
Yes.
So you keep doing that over and over again. And as you're doing it, is your business fully set up where you're getting all your proper royalties and publishing and everything else like that?
Yeah, no, definitely. My business is set up. You know, I'm with a publisher. Shout out to Reach Global. And, you know, I have my team, my manager, Jerry. Shout out to Jerry and my PR.